Good morning. Okay. Hi, everybody. We're going to move on to message boxes and input boxes with Visual Basic. So what I'd like you guys to do is if you're going to follow along and recreate this project we're working on today, let's create a new project. I will call it Message and Input. Say OK, and we'll get our blank form. This project, as it loads up, we're going to talk about the difference between a message box and an input box. You're going to notice we're not going to use much of the toolbox. You're not going to find message boxes and input boxes inside your toolbox. It's actually done just through code. So we're not coding any objects. I will put up here two buttons, one just to show what a message box looks like and one to show what an input box will look like. So what I'll do with that is we'll just name one as input box and the other one we'll call message box. Okay, and just maybe make these a little bit bigger so they can see what they look like. So the difference between a message box and input box we're going to see very quickly. We'll start with the message box. So when we want to code a message box, we'll double click on this. It'll take us to our coding window. There's three parts to a message box we need to know. So when we want a message box to appear, we're going to start with MSG box. And then what we're going to do in the brackets, we're going to start writing the three things we want. You're going to notice I just put double quotations here. This opens up the actual message. So what do we want the message to say? All we're spitting out is output. We're not really taking in any input from the user. That's for the input box. This is all output right here. So when we look at a message box, this might say, I hope you have a great week. When I put that second quotation, that closes up the message. I can keep going. I can keep doing a few things. I can add stuff to this. We'll talk about this maybe with the next assignment. But right now, we're just going to make a message box. So what happens next is as soon as I put this first comma, that closes off the message box option. And right now, I get to control what kind of buttons or icons I want. So OK cancel seems to be the typical default. If I want to go yes, no cancel buttons, then we can put that in. All right, so I can design the buttons in a message box. This option is not there for input boxes, just for message boxes only. So I'm going to choose the style to be yes, no, cancel. Then I'm going to hit another comma. All right, so I have part one is my message, then a comma. Then part two is the style. And then the last part after this comma, I ask for part three, ask for the title. And we're going to call the title hi. Nice and simple. So I've got three parts. Again, I've got in red my message, then a comma says, okay, we're done with the messaging part. Let's look at the style. We don't have to put anything in here. You can have a blank between these two commas, this first and second one. It will still just give you the default OK cancel. And then we have a title called hi. And you don't really even have to put in a title. As long as you have a message, and maybe we'll look at the difference in the next assignment, or we'll make a second one where you can see kind of how it works. So there's my message box. So if I go and play this, what's this going to look like? So that was under button 2. Here's my message box. So I hope you have a great week. There's the message. Okay, we just pull that up to here. I hope you have a great week. Here's my message box style. Yes, no, cancel. And my title here is going to be hi. So very simple, nice and easy. Now what happens if I stop this program and we switch a few elements out? Let's take a look. So I can delete this and just leave the two commas there. Okay, what happens when we do that? Well, we hit message box and you just get the, sorry, it's okay, not okay cancel. So now that changes and it says okay. All right, so if you leave that again, if you leave that and just blank, you're going to get okay. What if I don't put a title? Well, if you don't want to put a title, that's fine too. And let's say you even shortened it and you just said, you know what, I'm in a hurry for some reason. I don't really care about the buttons. I don't care about a title. It will still work. You're just going to have this weird message and input. It's going to take the name of your program, put it as the title, and you'll still get the OK as your default button. What if, and you've seen it before, you want to play around a bit with the icons. So here's the critical error icon. If you know what I'm talking about, it's that red circle, I think, with the white X. I want a critical error icon. I don't know why I do want it. And our title will be hello again. If you want to have a little bit of say, there's 4 possibilities on the icon. There's the critical error icon right here. There's that. There's the information icon. There's the yellow one. I think it's a caution icon, and the 4th one's kind of escaping me right now. But there are 4 of them that you can play around with and do a few things. So that's about it for message boxes right now. Let's take a look at input boxes. Input boxes are input only. I'll tell you right now, in an input box, we cannot control anything to do with the buttons or any type of icon. So it only has 1 comma. We get the message, we get the title, but we're going to have to save whatever they put in. So an input box, we'll double click. An input box is we're asking the user for information. So if we do that, let's say I'm asking the user for their name. So name will equal input box, and we'll do the same thing. What is your name? Again, 1 comma only because we can't control the button. So right now we just do the title. Please enter your name. One thing you're going to notice is the name or the word name is going to get underlined very quickly here. And that's because this should be underlined because I haven't dimmed that. All right, so I have not, this is kind of weird here. We'll take a look at that in a sec, but I haven't dimmed, oh, I haven't put a quote here. So I have not told the computer, don't worry about name, it's just something we're storing. I'm going to do that up here. I'm just going to put dim name as, and since we're asking for letters, it's going to be dimmed as a string. Okay, so whatever they type in here, Sally, Susan, Tarek, anything like that, that's what name's going to equal. Okay, so dim name as string, name's going to equal this input box. So let's take a look at what an input box looks like when I push play. I'll push play here. And what is your name? And if I put John and say OK, name's going to be John. Message box, still the same. Now, one last thing I want to show you with this assignment, and I'm going to ask you to make these or recreate this program for this assignment, and we'll do a second one later in the week. So what we're going to do is, what if someone does put in the name John, and I want it to show up in my message box? So watch this. This is the nice feature. I'm going to go up to the message portion of the message box, and I'm going to use this Shift 7, called the concatenation operator. It's like a glue stick. And all I'm going to do is glue in whatever they typed in here for name, John, let's say. This will say, I hope you have a great week, space, John. So let's take a look at how that's going to look. So let's do it again here. We'll do the input box first. What's your name? All right. So my name will say, we'll put down, the name is Sally. We're going to say OK. Now when we hit message box, Sally should show up in this message. I hope you have a great week, Sally. So we'll do that one more time just to take a look at that. Maybe I'll get rid of this message box critical, and we'll put something else here. The exclamation point. Okay, so let's do that. Push play. So input box, again, here's the title. What is your name? And please enter your name. So the name we'll say is Bob. Say OK. So right now, this word name is storing the word Bob. So it should say, hope you have a great week, and it's going to glue in the word Bob when I push this message box button. There it is. Bob, message box style exclamation. Great. The title, hello again, is there. So that is message box, input box in a nutshell. I'd like you to recreate this program if you could, please. The next assignment, which I'll add, will be carry over from this. It'll be more in-depth, but using input boxes and message boxes using the same concepts. That's it. Hope it wasn't too long and you were able to stay awake. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.